Hello guys, welcome to my channel. For today we'll be talking about loops. This is the fourth part of the beginners Python series. Hello again, I'm Richel Attafuah. I'm a second year grad student reading statistics at Miami University, and I'm so excited I'm doing this beginners Python series. So something key I want us to note today is that the platform I use to run this code is actually Jupyter Notebook. To follow along with me, you can just simply Google Colab. So actually type Google Colab on Google, and it's going to give you an interface very similar to what I'm using. I'm going to create another video from after this video to actually explain how to navigate the platform. Okay, so let's get into today's video. Hi guys, so today we'll be learning why loops are useful in programming, the difference between for loop and while loop. We'll be learning how to use range with loops, and we'll learn some loop control words which are break, continue, and pass. So before we start, why then do we even need to learn this concept of loops? So actually, sometimes you have to write a chunk of code and you want it to repeat a task. Right? To do a task, maybe given a certain condition several times, or to actually run that task within a specified range of numbers. So because of that, you can't keep writing that chunk of code over and over and over again to perform such a repetitive task. So we have loops to help us do that. So that is kind of like the importance of having loops, or kind of writing loops. So we are going to look at the two different kind of loops we have, the for loop and the while loop. So what's the difference between these kind of loops? So for the for loop, you have a range of values, right? If I see a range of values, that means we know the starting point and the ending point of our values. But for the while loop, we kind of don't know the end. It's kind of like an infinitely number of times we want the task to be done. So if we are unsure the number of times we want the task to be done, our while loop is what we should go for. If we have a fixed number of times we want that task to be done, a for loop is our go-to. For while loops, we are telling it keep repeating this function while my condition is true. So if my condition is true, keep repeating the function. That is how the while loop works. So let's go into details of the for loop. I'm going to demonstrate this and make it clearer. So as we see here, as I mentioned, the for loop helps us to iterate through a list of numbers or a string or range of numbers. So look at the example here. It says for I in range 5, meaning for every value from 0 to 4. Range usually doesn't consider the last number. So if you say range 5, you're looking at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And what you are saying is for I in range 5, print hello and I. So running this code gives us hello 0, hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4, right? So with the for loop here, it has made it simple for us that we are iterating through a list of numbers 0 to 4 instead of writing individual chunks of code to have done this one at a time. So we would have to initially write like 4 different print functions to print hello 0, hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4. But the for loop takes this headache from us. So we just have to write down simple one line of code and we can actually get this going. Okay, so now we are going to look at iterating over a list. So we have a list of fruits: apple, banana, and cherry. So the for loop is saying that for every fruit in our list fruit, print I like fruit. So for loop makes it simple because we would have had to write a lot of different print statements, as I mentioned earlier, to actually get this going. But with just this one chunk of code, we can just run everything. So the program is going to iterate through each string in fruit, right? And it's going to print it out one by one, making this simple and easier for us. Now let's dive more deeper into while loops. So as I mentioned earlier, a while loop will run as long as a condition is true. You can have a while loop running an infinitely number of times, and you have to actually kill the program to get a while loop to stop. So for this example, we are saying that the condition is that the count should be less than or equal to 5. So while count is less than or equal to 5, print count is count. So the condition here is that count should be less than or equal to 5. So we first initialize count, which is the first line of code saying count should be equal to 1. And what condition are we looking at? That it should be less than or equal to 5. So as long as 1, the initial value, is less than or equal to 5, we should print count is count. So if we didn't add the last condition down there, that keep increasing count by 1 and start the whole while loop again, this program would have run an infinitely number of times. So we had to kill the program. If I say kill the program, it means to end the program so that it stops running. So to make this simple, we had to add the last condition that, okay, count is 1 as the initial value, but increase it by 1 after you go through the while loop. So it will go through, it's 1 less than or equal to 5. Oh yeah, so count is 1. Then it increases it by 1. So it goes to 2. It's 2 less than or equal to 5. Oh yeah, so count is 2. Then it increases it till it doesn't meet the condition anymore. So this is how the output looks like. So 5 is less than or equal to 5. So that got printed. But when it increases 5 to 6, 6 is no longer less than or equal to 5. So the program actually dies. But if that last condition wasn't there, our while loop is going to run for an infinitely number of times. Now, let's go look at some loop control statements. These loop control statements helps us to have a good grasp of our loops, right? So it helps us to be able to add more things that we could do with our while and for loops. So these loop control statements are break, continue, and pass. So what do these actually mean? So for break tells you to stop the loop completely. So when you write your chunk of code and there is break, it actually stops that loop completely. Continue will actually skip that current iteration and move to the next. Pass actually does nothing. So pass is just like a placeholder. If I say a placeholder, remember when we spoke about variables in our first video? Variables actually being a container. So pass is something similar. So I'm going to explain this break and continue in good details because they can look a bit similar, so that it makes it very simple and easy for us to understand. So let's look at this simple example. It says for I in range 10, that means from I in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 is not included when you see range, right? If I is equal 5, in Python, when we use equal, it means equal to. It means the equal to that we are used to. But when you use just 1 equal to, it means assignment. If you remember in the first video, when we were talking about variables, we used just 1 equal to because we were assigning values to a name of a variable, or assigning a variable name to strings. We spoke about all that. If you have not watched the first video, please do well to watch the first video to get a grasp and understanding of what I mean by assignments. So back to what we are talking about. Double equal to means equal to. So we are saying if I is equal to 5, break. So what this function does is it's going to actually loop through the values we have. So first it will take 0. Is 0 equal 5? No. So it's going to print it out. Then it takes 1. Is 1 equal 5? No, it's going to print it out. When it gets to 5, 5 is equal 5. So it's going to stop the program. And it doesn't even move on to the next value, 6. So it's going to print out 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is actually the output, as I mentioned. It's going to just print out 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So break just kills the program when that condition that we are looking at has been met. So as far as we saw, we reach 5, which is equal to 5. Oh, we stop. We don't even print it out. We end and kill the program. Now let's look at continue. Continue is a little bit similar to the break, but with continue, it will continue. It won't just kill the program. It will just skip over that value and move to the next. So with the initial example I just explained, if we had used continue, it would, after it's reached 5, it won't kill the program like break did, but it will skip to 6 and continue printing 6 till 9, right? Let me explain that in detail again with this example. It says for I in range 5, meaning from value 0 to 4, if I is equal to 2, double equals is equal, right? Continue, print I. So what it's going to do, it checks the first value. So for I in range 5 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 0 equal to 2, right? That's what it's going to check. Oh, continue. So we're going to just print 0, then 1. Going to print, and when it gets to 2, oh, 2 is equal to 2. Continue. So we are going to skip 2, move to 3, right? Then it checks again, then 4. And it's done with the range of values because range 5 is from 0 to 4. So let's look at the value. So now let's compare the difference between break and continue. So we see here from the first part that break actually just kills the program when it gets to the condition. So we got to 5 equal to 5. 5 equal to 5. And what did it do? It just killed the program and ended. But we continue, it skipped over it when that condition was met. So 2 equal to 2. Oh, okay, this condition has been met. Okay, so we skip you, we move on. We are going to continue till we end the program. So if you want to write a line of code and kind of kill the program when a condition has been met, break is your guy. But if you want to skip over that condition and still run the program till the end, continue is your guy. So actually all these things we've learned actually from the first video to what we are learning now in loops, we are going to work on a project incorporating all these concepts to make sure that we have a deeper grasp of what we are learning. I hope you love that. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the pass. Pass, we are saying for I in range 3, meaning for every value from 0 to what? 2, pass. So pass is like, it does nothing. It's just like a placeholder, as I mentioned earlier. So I'm going to do a quick recap. Break will stop the loop completely. No numbers at all. It's not going to continue. But for continue, it will just skip that iteration and move on. I hope this understanding or this concept is really understood and we really get it. Just put in the comment if something is confusing so that I explain it to you in deeper details. So a quick recap of what we've learned in this video. We've spoken about for loops, right? How for loops helps us to iterate over a sequence or a known range, right? We've spoken about while loops, how while loops we use them if we don't know the range of values we want to use, if it's an infinite number of times or we don't know how many times we want to repeat a task, while loop is our guy, right? And we looked at break, continue, and pass, which helps us to get more control over our what? For and while loop that we use. I hope you loved this video. I made it short and well detailed. Let me know in the comments if there's something you want me to add or talk more about. I'm happy to do so. And if you've not watched our video on conditionals or variables, I'm linking them here. So do well to watch it. And also, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, share with your friends, and let me know your feedback. Thank you for supporting.